few more seconds on in there to do some Dota. Maybe I'll play some Dota afterwards as well. Oftentimes when I play or cast these leagues, I end up really wanting to play a game like immediately afterwards. So we'll do a quick little introduction of all the players before I get sidetracked again and start talking about my week. We've got just Arteezy. Mr. Arteezy himself is going to be playing the Anti-Mage there with quite a slick little mohawk. Gotta be said, look at that little mohawk. That's not a mohawk. Ponytail, that's the word I was looking for. We've got Omega Power, who's going to be playing the Magnus here. We also have Pandago, who's going to be your Lich. Looks like they're going to be doing potentially an aggressive tri-lane here. Very interesting. DSMK is going to be your Naga Siren. We have KZZ on the Tusk, and that's your Radiant team. Off for the Dire, we've got Ned, who's going to be playing the Dazzle. Mindsky Fangay, who's going to be playing your Queen of Pain, spotting this Tusk here, although I think he saw her as well. So gonna just trade a little bit of right clicks there. Shouldn't actually miss anything here, I don't think, except for a little bit of damage going back and forth. Mason is going to be your Drow Ranger with a pretty slick little scarf there covering her mouth. Haven't seen that set in a cool minute. We've got Moon Meander, who's going to be playing your Lena, and last but not least, at MSS Dota, who's going to be playing the Abaddon. So a little bit of back and forth here at the very beginning. It does look like they reveal that there's a ward on the high ground here. Needs to be a little bit careful about the skewer coming out from the Magnus, but I think that if he did end up leveling skewer first, it would pretty much just be, oh, that ain't good. Oh, look at the body blocks here. Oh my goodness, this is really not good. This is going to be a double kill, I think. Unfortunately, looks like the Aphotic Shield messed it up a little bit. Needs one last hit, the miss uphill, and he goes for it. Of course he goes for it. Might end up paying the price for it, though. So freaking low, but with the Naga Siren coming on in and drawing the creep, that was... Mason is ever so upset about the situation over here. So 2 kills at the very beginning of the game, not looking absolutely wonderful for the Dire, it's got to be said, but not necessarily an indication that the entire game is lost. Looks like we are going to be seeing a Drow Ranger mid here. Unfortunately, Mason didn't end up getting that last hit, so this ends up changing things up significantly. We're going to be having this Queen of Pain up here in the top lane with the Dazzle. We also have the Tusk who's up against them, and meanwhile down in the bot lane, we've got a Lina as well as an Abaddon up against the tri-lane of the Anti-Mage, Lich, and the Naga Siren. And for some reason, this is very, very strange. I don't know why the Naga's standing there, and now they're just leaving him. I kind of feel like one of them, oh, it's because the ward is blocked. Okay, of course. I was like, I feel like she should be pulling right now. It is worth noting as well that when you're going up against an aggressive tri-lane like this, as Dazzle rotates on down to the bot, you might not want to pull as much, particularly if you're going to be relying upon Lich to continue to draw sacrifices there onto the creeps. So not that necessarily he shouldn't do that, because that's kind of his thing, you know, that's what Lich wants to do, is continue to sacrifice creeps the whole time through, but it's just that you need to be more careful about if you're actually going to pull or not, because if you do pull, you might end up getting the creeps up under there, you get your Anti-Mage killed. That's not a good thing. Nobody wants that. Goes on in immediately. Oh, Splash goes down. Ned, is he going to be able to get out of their Aphotic Shield one last time? That's going to keep him alive. That Abaddon in lane is really, really solid for being able to ensure that they don't end up getting taken out. So very, very well done there. And this is a little bit of the thing I was talking about, though, is that you've kind of got this situation now where it's not necessarily the most orthodox lanes that you've ever had in your life, but it's all built around winning this laning stage. And then probably what they're going to opt to do with this lineup is just try and continue to snowball through, get kills around the map, eventually take towers, and go from there. It's less important now necessarily, you know, having a great late-term composition, because games haven't necessarily been going super late. And if you take a look, they've been somewhat dominating the lanes here. You know, you've got a Lina who's just about even with the Anti-Mage and farm. You've got the Quap and the Drow Ranger who are at 13 apiece. The only one who's having a really good time is going to be the Sven, but I don't know. I think that they have a chance here to really sort of win with this. I don't want to call it completely unorthodox laning phase thing, because, you know, Queen of Pain in a solo lane by herself isn't that weird. You've got Drow Ranger by herself that isn't that weird, but it's just the fact that you have this farming Lina down here in the bot lane as a part of a tri-lane. To me, that's kind of weird. Personally, I find that a little bit strange, but I don't know. What do I know? So yeah, she's been the one who's pretty much been prioritizing farm there. Abaddon and the Dazzle haven't really gotten anything. Dazzle's picked up one last hit and a few denies as well, so doing a good job of trying to deny out Arteezy just about as much as they possibly can, and he hasn't been getting the best farm in the world. It's a little bit tough so far. It's a very, very strange lane though, it's got to be said. So Tusk now is going to continue to try and get as much as he can out of this lane. Tosses out an Ice Shards here in conjunction with the side pull to get the lane a little bit more under his control, but Queen of Pain's still doing a really good job of making sure that everything's going her way pretty much. Over in the mid lane, we've got the Drow Ranger as well, who is doing a decent job here. Looks like she is going to be going for several of those Wraith fans like they talked about at the beginning of the game. And I think that this makes a lot of sense. You just want to continue to get this Precision Aura as much as you possibly can up, so that way you can help out the rest of your lanes and make sure that you end up winning them. It's a little bit tough in this lane though, because you've got the situation where the Magnus is going to be able to continue to nuke the creep wave. Looks like she might be going for something here. I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea with the DD up, but honestly, she's making it happen. Another shockwave on Outgust as well. He might end up going down here. Oh, one last hit is all that he needs. Might end up actually taking her down. Yes, he does. Oh my goodness, kill over there. GG, well played already. And meanwhile, up in the top lane, Queen of Pain making up for it a little bit, able to take on down that Tusk. Didn't even need to have to use Sonic Wave. Might see if we get a rotation. I kind of wonder if it would have been worth it for somebody to rotate on up to the mid lane to help out. Like, Abaddon had a TP there. I think that he probably could have saved her life. They were initiating for like a cool minute there, but nonetheless, not going to end up being what happened. And we're just going to continue to see some farming taking place right on over here. So Drow back on up to full. It is going to force Magnus to head on back to base, but he's going to have a TP, so should be able to be out there relatively shortly. Let's take a look at net worth at this point. Magnus is sitting at the top at just under 3,000. You also have Queen of Pain below him, and then the Anti-Mage, and then the Lina. So Drow, despite the fact that she's been able to get a good portion of last hits and denies, that death really set her back a good deal. Now we've got three heroes here rotating on in. They might try and I kind of thought that they might be trying to go on in behind the oh god, Queen of Pain gets another kill up in the top lane. Excuse me for missing that. Now she uses the Sonic Wave. Unfortunately, KZZ is going to be the one bearing the brunt of that scream in his ear, and not too happy about it. Nobody likes to get screamed in their ear. It's not a fun thing to have happen. Bob Rune is going to be there. It is a regen as well. A little bit of an Insert coming on up on the Lina. He's going to stop down the Light Strike array to try and create as much separation as possible. Naga's a little bit low, but don't think they're going to be able to take her out. With the Abaddon rotating on over and tossing out a Mist Coil, though, they're going to be absolutely fine. And Moonbinder's going to continue to be able to just harass Arteezy just to the point of anger and despair. It's kind of frustrating laning against something like this. A rotation coming on in. Tusk is in the mid lane. Might opt to go on in onto this Drow here. It looks like he's setting up for something, and she's over in this area. It's going to be a little bit scary. It's also nighttime. She does have decent vision. Oh, she's dead. Yeah, there you go. You're very dead. A little bit unfortunate. Uses the RP. Not sure if that was necessary. Oh my god, the gut. This almost kept her alive, though. That was really close. Had it been a second earlier, Ned might have been able to shallow grave her, and then it would have been fine. But unfortunately, not going to be the case. Drow ends up going down yet again. And even though she's the leader of the last hits at this point, is going to be the 5th in terms of net worth, and the lowest so far is actually Tusk, though. So off lane versus the mid lane, they're sort of even at this point. Oh my god, Queen of Pain getting another kill up in the top lane. Every time I walk over here or walk away, she's getting another kill. Blink up in another couple of seconds. Did he end up ulting the wrong creep? I think he ulted a creep. Oh my god, they're going to be able to take down the Magnus on the back of it as well. KZZ had no spells up, no time for anything, and Queen of Pain with the double kill is really making it happen. 4k net worth at this point. Really solid play there. Might see a snowball in a second. No, with the Abaddon Mist Coil, he's just going to opt to CS with that Ice Shards and then head on back to base. Oh man, so let's see. Drow Ranger now, 2 Wraith fans. Looks like she might be rotating into a Yasha next. No, this is just going to be her treads. Opting to pick up that Elven Skin Band. first. And now with Queen of Pain rotating on over into the mid lane, we still have a whole lot of damage that can be coming out from the Sonic Wave. Does not want to reveal that she's here until Drow Ranger is ready to make something happen, but might be a good opportunity to here. We'll see. The illusions are moving on forward. We also have a Magnus rotating in, so could get a two-person Sonic Wave here, along with Drow Ranger coming on in. Looks like they might try and go for it. Oh, no. Okay. Just going to opt to yell in her ear one time. Does get the kill. That wasn't necessarily the best, unfortunately, and Tusk gets a little bit of payback up in the top lane. Yeah, it was a little bit funky. There were several other ways she could have potentially done that, but unfortunately, looks like Drow might get taken out here yet again. We do have another TP coming on in, but Walrus Punch is a little bit too quick. Cancels. Oh my god, she's a little bit upset. Buys back immediately. Always good. Always good. And unfortunately, that's going to really set her back in terms of net worth. She's below the Lina now and below the Tusk, so in a matter of seconds, that advantage that they had is starting to dwindle away. Let's take a look at team net worth at this point. Radiant, after that little engagement, or couple of engagements, I should say, have really skyrocketed back into the lead. We also see another big advantage. Oh my god, Mood Meter's going down as well. This Tusk is really starting to make stuff happen. Mason is unfortunately not too happy about the situation. He keeps on eating all of the... Oh, yeah, that's not good. Nobody wants that. Just standing there as well. I guess that the idea was that you really didn't have any other way of getting away, so maybe you just try and... I don't know, this is very strange. It felt like they were ahead just a second ago. Oh man, getting away on almost nothing. And Skifang Gate is definitely very close. Okay. Alright. Okay. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll hop right into the next one.